Alright, I've just gotten home from work. I think I've got enough time before the sun goes down to make a follow-up video. I'm once again sitting here in my Lexus LX570, and after my last video regarding the Vline 2 infotainment system upgrade, I've had a question, so I'm going to see if I can go through and answer those questions today. First of all, this user commented that I should try connecting Android Auto without having the Bluetooth tethered to the car hands-free system, and that would allow the Android Auto unit to connect automatically through Wi-Fi regardless of whether it was plugged in or not. And thank you for that suggestion to that person. That actually does work. I tried disconnecting the hands-free system of the car for phone calls, and the Android Auto system started straight away. There was still a trade-off by doing this, in that the Android Auto system was using the microphone on my phone to actually pick up the voice signal. Not ideal, and I have decided to revert back to using Android Auto tethered. I'm really thankful for having had that suggestion by one of the viewers. I'm also going to do a follow-up with Apple CarPlay, and I'm going to see if I can make Apple CarPlay work. I have got an iPhone as a work phone, so I've brought that here with me today, and I'm going to see if I can bumble my way through getting Apple CarPlay to play on my Vline 2 system. I'm not very familiar with the iPhone ecosystem, so this may come as a bit of a challenge to me. Once again, I'm going to be making this video with the engine running on the car because it's around 30 degrees right now. I'm feeling the warmth, and sitting inside a car on a 30-degree day, even at this time in the evening, is well. So I'm putting my Android phone in airplane mode, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and find Apple CarPlay. I actually removed Apple CarPlay from the menu, but there's a spot here with this plus sign, and I can add. So in there's all of these plugins that it says I can add. Apple CarPlay is on the list, so I'm just going to hit that now, and somewhere over here, yep, over here in the top right, I've got Apple CarPlay, so I'm going to hit that and see what happens. So it's looking for a wireless CarPlay device, so what I'll do is turn Bluetooth on this iPhone here. This is an iPhone 7 my work issued to me. I'm going to see if I can make this thing work. There's the iPhone there. I'll pair that now. It's asking me here on the phone, do I want to use CarPlay with Vline 2? I'm going to say yes to that. This has taken some time. It is the first time ever I've connected a Apple device up here though, so I think that could possibly be expected. Okay, what's interesting here is we seem to be stuck in a loop of trying to connect to CarPlay and then closing down. I'm not sure why this is happening. What I'm going to do is I'm now going to go and take a lightning cable, I think that's what they're called. Anyway, whatever the iPhone cable system is called, I'm going to take that and plug in and see if this will work tethered. Okay, I'm not getting any joy here. I've now got the phone tethered, and it's telling me on the phone it's opening CarPlay and then closing. It's in a continuous loop. I'm just going to turn off Bluetooth tethering and see what happens there. There we go. I've turned off Bluetooth tethering, and now my Apple CarPlay thing has linked up. Now, I'm not going to go and do a thorough use of this. I'm just making this video to demonstrate that it's possible. Alright, so there it is. I was able to open Apple CarPlay by tethering the phone to the Vline 2 USB port. I imagine the problem here is the same as what it is with Android Auto, where the device is trying to pair to two different systems. I still prefer to use the car hands-free system over the Android Auto system, because it seems to, well, I don't know if the Vline 2 has a microphone or what, but I don't think it's picking up and connecting to the car's built-in microphone. Wherever that built-in microphone is in this car, I'm not sure. It could be here. This potentially is a microphone port, I don't know. But the Lexus engineers back in 2013 or whenever they were making this car did an almighty job of creating a hands-free system that's very good at noise reduction, and I don't think using a built-in microphone on a phone can best that at all. Anyway, that's Apple CarPlay. It does work on the Vline 2, and for anyone that's familiar with Apple CarPlay, I'm sure you would find a lot more uses and all of that sort of stuff for the unit, and you'd probably use it the way I use Android Auto. Another question I've had is whether I can demonstrate how long it takes for the Vline 2 logo to disappear off the Lexus screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to film the startup of the Vline 2 as I get into the car and start it, and I'll play that back to you in real time so that you get an idea of how long it takes the Vline 2 to boot up and become operational. So here we are again in the car, and ignition is turned off. I'll start my engine. Okay, you can see my Lexus system loading, and it's booted straight into CarPlay, which is where it was before. So interestingly, it is now booted immediately into Apple CarPlay wirelessly, despite the fact that it wouldn't work before. It's now working. So that's how long it took to boot up straight away. Okay, I'm just going to have another try at this, and the purpose of this next attempt will be just to turn off the car, turn it on again, and see how long it takes for Vline 2 to boot into this screen here. I'm going to turn off the car, and now I'm going to turn on the car again, and I'll film the boot up of the system. Okay, as you can see, the Android system is booted right up where it left off. It's gone immediately back to that page. So I feel like what's happening here, and I'm not an expert on this, is that the Android Auto is not shutting down completely. So I don't know if it enters some sort of standby mode or if it just continues to run in the car whilst the engine is turned off. Certainly if it does that, it hasn't flattened my battery yet, and I do walk away from this car and leave it sometimes for a week or two at a time without driving it. I hope that I've helped answer your questions adequately. Again, I'm always open to comments and suggestions, so please feel free to comment on this video if you'd like to know more.